Okay, hey, it's
Some
time to
hot
get out of
topic,
there.
hot discussions. All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Narcolepsy Boy Podcast. Narcolepsy Boy 94 here, aka Malik. Back here again with a special podcast, Vince McMahon edition, I guess you could say, because there's all crazy news going on right now in the world of wrestling, especially when it regards to Vincent Kennedy, McMahon himself. So I'll let my guests introduce themselves first. We'll start with Anthony, then we'll go to Ramondo, and then G Baby go, and then you guys feel free to interact in the comments as well. Leave your thoughts, your opinions on what you guys think about this whole situation, and we will talk about it and discuss it.
So what's going on, guys? Anthony here, also known as World. You can go follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and any social media that you could think of on World. Pleasure to be here.
Mondo, I had to put that in parentheses this time, but Odinamore is the handle for TikTok. I think I've been here a couple times, 3 times, 4 times, and just always happy to be here with you guys.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all? Pleasure to be back. Second time up here. You can catch me on IG and TikTok. TikTok is where most of my content is. _G.baby22. Out on those two platforms mainly. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah, hey, G Baby also does sports stuff too, regarding basketball, football, and stuff. You guys go check that out.
Absolutely.
Check that stuff out too. But man, what's your guys' thoughts on this? First initial thoughts: Vince retiring, something that we never thought we'd see. Honestly, I mean, got to have die in a chair at one point.
Exactly.
But the times are pretty crazy right now. A lot of things going on, and the allegations came out, and then they like stepped down as chairman, but they said it was like temporary, and then now he's retiring. So like Vince is passing the company over to Stephanie and Nick Khan and Triple H and Shane, whoever else is going to be involved with it too. But it's and plus they're like the rumors about the TV-14 coming back for WWE too. So like there's a lot of things going on, a lot of rumors and speculations going on right now in WWE. But let's start with G Baby, man. What's your initial thoughts on Vince's retirement?
So it's actually crazy. When I heard the news, the fact that ESPN alerted it, because I turn off tweet notifications just in case, like if I'm behind on something, I don't want to get spoiled.
Right.
So when ESPN broke it, I was like, it was crazy. Like my girl just came home and she tried to talk to me about stuff. I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie to you, babe. I'm not listening to you right now. Like, so my first thing was like, it was like, wow, like this actually happened. And I was just like, and when I first saw it, I didn't know that Triple H had already been put as EVP and all that stuff. So yeah. I was just like, man, like, what are they gonna do? And it was just unfortunate that the way I felt like this came because of the allegations, like 2 Wall Street journals back to back in the span of like a month or whatever. I just wish it would have been under better, sir. I wish he would have just retired because he was like, I'm good now. I just want to relax. I think obviously that would have been better. I hate that it had to be up under these circumstances. But in the same breath, you watch SmackDown tonight, and it just had a different feel to it. So my main thing is just like he had a tremendous legacy. I mean, I was born in '98, but WWE, like my dad watched it when it was WWF and like OG days. Like the empire that he built, like WrestleMania at one point was the biggest thing that you couldn't miss. Like I would almost argue was on par with the Super Bowl at one point.
For sure.
On par.
I mean, I know the product hasn't been like as popular to a lot of fans nowadays, but I mean, you could probably argue WrestleMania may be bigger than Super Bowl, or not if like it's up there. Like it's 2 nights now, like it take over an entire week of it. I was there this year.
Between the views and the money it brings in, it's crazy.
Absolutely. And now with this deal and stuff, with the way streamer works now, so I think he's absolutely built an empire. At the end of the day, we can complain about the booking and all that, but if it wasn't for him, I mean, Monday Night Wars, I mean, TNA and Impact and even AEW, none of that is here without Vince. Whether we want to admit it or not, none of it is here without Vince. It's not on this big stage without Vince. So the way I see it, incredible career. Hate that this is coming out because, you never want to see, stuff tainting people. And if he is guilty of, either the sexual misconduct or using company money. That's an unfortunate thing. But as far as what he did for the wrestling world and building up WWE, I mean, even with this bad booking we complain about, it's still the most profitable it's ever been. So
Oh yeah,
I just say shout out to you, man. An incredible career, incredible legacy. Probably one of the greatest owners in the history of just entertainment or sports, whatever you want to call it. Probably one of the greatest owners. So shout out to him.
I mean, Vince is the pioneer. He revolutionized everything in wrestling. I mean, wrestling wouldn't be where it is today, especially WWE was on a global scale if he never had bought the company from his dad and then had the vision of taking it to where he could make it. But you got to also think too in business. I mean, we're not business guys. We don't own businesses. We're not rich billionaires who own a business and have to make tough decisions because, like, Vince has made good decisions. He's also made bad decisions, but probably like 95% of decisions he's made was always, for the better of WWE at some point. I mean, like, he literally took the company from pennies and nickels and built it up to $1 billion corporation. Like, they talk like when we was growing up, wrestling was cool, but like it still wasn't as like global as it was. Like people had new stuff, but it still wasn't on a global stage. Like nowadays, like they cover WWE on ESPN and Sports Center, and it's like it's looked at as a sport now. You know what I mean? Like it's a global phenomenon that's covered everywhere. Like everybody knows what WWE is. Like you've heard the name and the superstars. Like think of all the superstars he's given us too: The Rock and Cena and Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and Hogan, and Triple H. Like a lot of people that we wouldn't have gotten in wrestling if it wasn't for Vince either, like a lot of superstar Brock Lesnar and a lot of superstars that we wouldn't know about if it wasn't for WWE because not everybody came from other companies and went to WWE to see it. Some people were built up in the WWE system, you know what I mean? So it's definitely a crazy thing to see he retire because you never thought you'd see it. At least I never thought I'd see it. I thought he freaking would die and then he would retire right there after he passed away. But the circumstances do seem it's just too kind of suspicious, with the allegations coming out, and then he stepped down as chairman, and then Stephanie took over. They said it was temporarily though, and then now he's back up. Stephanie's now like in charge of everything now. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a weird.
And the con, yeah.
It's a weird time. You know what I mean? So it would have been cool to see him retire on better circumstances, but I mean, if he feels like he's at peace, you know what I'm saying? There's really nothing for him to do left. I mean, he's done everything. Like he's checked everything off on the box. He's made WWE a lot of money. He's made sure the company's financially stable for life. He's given us some of the best product we could ever have, some good and bad stuff. He's given us legendary superstars. He's built WWE up to a global corporation. You know what I'm saying? Like
the Undertaker was his brainchild,
Yeah, like he's done the ultimate goal. So excuse me, what more could he possibly do that he hasn't really done left? You know what I mean? So I'll let you, Anthony, I'll let you speak your thoughts on the Vince retirement, and then Armando, you can go, and then we'll touch on the future of where the WWE could possibly go.
Man, it's just crazy because I'm at work, I'm chilling, I go on break, I look at my phone. That's the first thing I see. Vince McMahon retires at 77. I never thought I'd see the day. I thought he would actually die in the gorilla position while he's working because that's how devoted he is to the program and to like the company. So just seeing him retire on these circumstances, it's sad to see. But at the end of the day, we all gotta sit back, look, and see his legacy. His legacy is just the most impactful on the wrestling business. Like what G Baby was saying, we wouldn't have Impact, we wouldn't have AEW, we wouldn't have any of this competition if it wasn't for WWE. Just great wrestling in general.
Go, Armando. Your turn.
You look like you was about to cry.
No, like honestly, WWE is just amazing because of Vince McMahon. Like his genius, his ideas, just everything he's put his blood, sweat, and tears into that company is one to look back and just say, "Wow, what a career!"
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I think like we were talking about before we started. I was looking through TikTok and then I see Vince McMahon retiring and I'm seeing stitches, and I think I'm all for people speaking their mind and shit, and that's great. But everybody was like celebrating it. Oh, finally the product is gonna get better, or finally he's out of the chair, or finally we can get some of this and that. And to me, I was cringing at most of those videos because like the motherfucker, he's been there 45 years, 35 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that. Yeah, he
Even
been
Yeah,
there
something like
because
that.
before he owned it, he was still working in the
right.
business. So
Even there was a point where he was working commentary and he owned the company. And there was somebody else as the face of the company and he was working commentary while still he was commentating on people he can hire or fire. And I think that nobody knew. I think I'm not even going to speak on his allegations and stuff because I wasn't there. I don't really have much of an opinion. And I just feel like people are celebrating the wrong thing. Like, yeah, it sucks that he had to leave under bad circumstances. If that's even the case, maybe he was just like, this is too much between the allegations and work. Maybe he's 77 years old.
mhm.
People retire like 77, bro. I don't even think I'm gonna make it that far, let alone run my own company. Vince McMahon, he is the OG of wrestling. And then that
Sure.
whole thing that Tony Khan tweeted out talking about, now that was corny. That
Yeah,
was
that was petty.
it wasn't even petty.
Yeah.
It was corny, bro. It
It
was
was
like
Yeah, corny,
it was
petty,
like out
all
of
of
all
them.
the shots you want to take,
it
that's
was
not
just
the one you take, bro. Like
it's just
that was
Yeah,
corny.
out of
that was
And
touch.
low.
I think 70% of the reactions I've seen to Vince's retirement, to me, was corny. Celebrating him leaving as opposed to celebrating his legacy is, I mean, at least say I don't like him because he did this. Don't talk about everybody complains about the product but tunes in every week. And that shit,
Exactly.
to me, that it irks me a little bit. That's why I
Same
try
here.
my best. You criticizing and complaining are two different things. So I think people
Yeah.
have to find that line.
And then real quick, I just really want to touch on that Tony Khan thing because I actually forgot about it until you said it. I'm sorry, like I get it, like I
It's
know
corny.
there's and I've seen different reports. There's some wrestlers in there who were like, yeah, like when Cody was there, he was very much, subbing Triple H, subbing WWE and some of the stuff.
Sure.
And I think that's Tony Khan's thing too. But like there's other wrestlers, like I believe it was the Young Bucks who are like, yeah, we're not really into that. We're just trying to have our own thing. Like, yeah, we'll compete, we'll make references, but like we're not about to make that an
I like that.
every time thing.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna lie, like Tony Khan, like I don't know if him, like maybe him and Vince might have beef. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like Vince for a certain reason, and that's why he did that. But if there is no beef, the way I see it is like, bro, like, okay, yeah, take shots because NXT and AEW, you won the
Right.
war, whatever.
Yeah.
You can take shots there. Take shots,
Exactly.
like I remember when that Hell in a Cell match with the Fiend and Seth Rollins, when they
Mhm.
botched that. Almost every single AEW dude was like, yeah, tune into AEW on Wednesday. That's fine. But like with this one, I was just like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like that was unnecessary. That was like that you doing too much. Like
That
I
was
guarantee you, when I saw Vince retire, AEW was nowhere near in my mind.
Exactly. Nobody gives
Like not a thought. Like
Yeah.
AEW was the furthest thing from everybody's mind. The last thing
Exactly.
There's also those people too who like I've seen a couple of tweets out there saying like, oh, like Tony made Vince retire or something like that. I'm like,
Wow.
Like,
they was making
Comments
the
like
most
that
money
make no
ever.
sense. Like,
They was making the most money ever. Like I know when WWE says, yeah, we don't see AEW as competition, but then they watching their TV screens like on the side, like I don't believe that.
Right.
But like when it comes to making money, AEW ain't touching them.
No,
Like,
at least not yet.
Like, yeah, I was like, it might get there, but then
Yeah,
one day.
about to hit year 4. They're not touching.
And you know what?
WWE.
And mind you, I like AEW, bro. I do. I like AEW and I like WWE because if I'm feeling more hardcore wrestling, I'm gonna go AEW. If I'm feeling more storyline, I'm gonna go WWE. I watch them both. Some weeks I'll go without watching WWE. Some weeks I'll go without watching AEW. But you can't. I think to compare the two is comparing apples and oranges. I think that's a silly comparison. I think to say one is better than the other is asinine to me because it's two sides of the same coin. It's wrestling. We all love it. Sometimes you're in the mood for stories and soap operas, and sometimes you just want to see people get beat up.
Yeah, and like even with that, like, and I don't want to go too off into it, but I will say, like, even with AEW ain't perfect. Like, I think they have the worst women's division.
I'll tell you right now,
very
the
lackluster.
women's division I think is definitely a downfall, and They probably had one of the worst booking decisions I've seen since I watched it last. Like Chris Jericho beating Eddie Kingston made no sense to me.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
don't
horrendous.
even get me started on
I was
that.
like, what are we doing?
I don't
Hey,
understand
you know
why.
That
what?
was the worst.
I'm sorry.
And
You
then
know the
Black
Jungle
Panther?
Boy Christian.
That doesn't
I
make
think
sense.
I think that had potential to be such a great storyline, and it could have. But Jungle, Luchasaurus just switched over to Jungle Boy again, and we don't know why. I don't know if they're making us want to wonder why, but I feel like you could have done something with that. Like maybe there's always a plan B type shit. You know what I'm saying?
But like even with that, like when it happened, I was watching it. I was like, wow, they really turned them back.
Man, listen,
The only way they can save it is if they come back and it's like,
listen, bro.
I was really
Anthony
working with Jungle Boy all the time.
Anthony can attest to this, bro. I've been on Luchasaurus bandwagon for a minute, bro.
He's been, yes. He's
For a
been
minute,
on
bro.
Luchasaurus
He's
bandwagon. He's
he's a
saying that
really
since day
intelligent
one.
man, right?
Yes, he has potential, bro.
He has
He could be
potential.
a
I'm not
really
gonna
main.
lie.
He could be a main event star for the company. I thought the heel turn was really good for him. It was going to benefit him, but then they put it. Oh man, I don't understand.
I like what they
That's a
did.
good
That they
physique
turned
and
him in.
everything.
You know what? It's very hard to with someone with a mask to show opposite sides, and they did that perfectly because he still had his mask, darkened it up, put some fucking paint on his face. They made
Had
him
the
look
fire
like
and the pyro.
Yes.
They made him look badass. Simple
Yeah,
as
he
that.
was
They
a
made him
very.
look dominant.
His music sounds like Kane a little bit, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
absolutely
didn't-
it does.
Give
It's
me
a
some
straight
Kane
rip off of
vibes.
Kane, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a
I
straight
didn't
rip off of
understand.
Kane
I didn't
vibes.
understand. I didn't understand the heel turn.
The only way
his turn.
the only way I think they're going to try to fix it is if they're like, well, the whole time, like, you really think I was actually with you? Like, Jungle Boy's been my guy forever, which is fine. But like, you got to read the
Why?
room. That was a really.
Yeah.
You should have
Yeah.
changed the plan. Like,
You
I
know
don't
what?
think Jungle Boy should have been on TV for like
throughout
months.
that whole thing, Christian Cage has been carrying that storyline because that
Ooh, without a
motherfucker
doubt.
is such a great heel. And I wish he would have got that. Maybe he just started getting good on the mic towards his later years, but imagine he would have been able to put that kind of heel work and those kind of shots, like talking about people's dead parents. I think that shit is hilarious. Like, and he's doing phenomenal heel work, Christian. But Edge and Christian, they've always been great talkers.
So let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Yep,
the
that's
future.
best,
What the
Christian.
future? What the future could hold. You know, Vince is retired now, so things could be obviously the whole environment could be changing for WWE. What do you guys think? You guys think the product's going to get better now? You guys have high hopes, or you guys have low expectations? I mean, how do you guys feel overall about it? Because me, I'm kind of like 50-50. I'm not really. Could the product be better? Yes, but WWE does things for money nowadays too. You feel me?
Yeah.
And some people who are in business have to understand, like for the TV14 thing, like some people are like, oh, well, they should just go back to TV14, but they have business deals with like USA and Fox. You know what I mean? Like they have to go to the networks. The networks have to approve stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, or
They're in the Kids' Choice Awards.
even like
True.
the whole PD stuff. Like WWE caters to a lot of the Make-A-Wish foundations and the bully campaign stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you can't really do. It's hard to do certain things. I remember Bully Ray did an interview where he was doing a podcast and he was saying like when he came back with the Dudleys and they split up again, whatever. He pitched the idea of doing the Bully Ray character and everything in TNA, and he said Vince knew all about the character and everything, but he told him that we can't do the character because they have the I Bully campaign, and if he does that, that kind of looks hypocritical.
Yeah, his name is literally Bully Ray.
Bully Ray. Yeah.
There are things that they kind of have to think about what they do, you know what I'm saying, because of the business deals that they have. So overall, I don't know, man. I mean, I do think one positive thing I do think that will happen is that we will start to see certain superstars get pushed that wouldn't have gotten pushed under the Vince rule, like Johnny Gargano. Like I can see him bringing back Karrion Kross, Johnny Gargano, Braun Strowman, like all these people who've gone and still free agents. Like I could see Triple H be like, hey, you want to come back? You know what I'm saying? Things will be a little bit different, if you come back and do it now. So I think we will start to see maybe some more of the NXT superstars get utilized on the main roster. But as far as like completely changing the product fully, I don't know, man.
Very 50-50 on that. Honestly, they have potential, but it's the whole ordeal of consistency. Can they be consistent throughout the years, or will they just flop like they've been doing recently? Well, not flopping, but like just being inconsistent and just having lackluster storylines or just lackluster builds for things.
So what I've always felt is that in a perfect world, peak NXT if they would just put that on the main roster, I feel like nobody could touch them. Because peak NXT was the greatest show, the greatest run of shows I'd ever seen in my life. Like 5-star pay-per-views back to back. Even the more minuscule pay-per-views were still 5-star bangers.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
think they
Never
like
lie, man.
separate though. And one thing I've noticed is that Finn Balor talked about it before. I think the NXT talent enjoyed because NXT is almost like Black and Gold is almost like indie but mainstream indie. Like, and I think they liked that feel. I think they enjoyed that indie feel in a big stage.
Yeah,
Bigger audience,
and so I don't think we're going to get that. I don't think, but I think I said this on the last time I was on. I know a lot of people don't watch NXT 2.0, but you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference in storylines from main roster and even NXT 2.0 because Shawn Michaels is still down there running creative.
True.
And you can tell the difference in storyline. The matches aren't as good because it's truly
But
back to
for the
developmental, huh?
For the better or for worse?
No, like the storylines are better than main roster. Like because Shawn Michaels is still running
2.0
creative down there.
2.0 isn't bad.
It's just back to developmental. So
It's
the
something
wrestling
new.
isn't as good. The wrestling isn't as good, but the storylines 9 times out of 10 are more cohesive.
I mean, they had really
than they were.
Nothing has really changed to me about NXT except they revamped it and they stopped signing indie wrestlers. They just started signing superstars.
Talent.
They want a homegrown talent. No, they want to build up.
Homegrown talent, and it's truly back to developmental because obviously their women's division is not the same as it was.
But like just tell anybody in NXT, like nobody really in NXT, like you haven't heard of them. Like you like when somebody could like Lash Legend or Nikita Lyons or the Creed brothers, like you don't know who these people are.
Exactly.
Like,
Hey, Cora Jade is Santino's daughter, right?
No, Cora Jade.
No,
Santino's daughter. Somebody else.
Cora Jade is somebody else. Yeah.
Who's Santino's daughter?
I mean,
Santino's daughter is now with NXT though, so I don't know her name in NXT.
I thought she was like
Santino's daughter and The Rock's daughter are both in
Ava Rain.
I mean, there's still great talent down in NXT. I mean, you got Braun Breaker.
For sure.
And,
like Alba Fire is still there.
Cameron Grimes.
Yeah.
You like Cameron Grimes?
Bro, there's a tag team down there called the Creed Brothers. Bro, they legit.
Oh yeah, you talking about the guys?
Yeah, they've been holding it down.
Yeah, they're nice, bro. They're in this group.
Yeah, kind of like the blue tracksuit. They're called the Diamond Line. Yeah, and like honestly, I think what doesn't get talked about enough is like the Tony D'Angelo family, that whole thing. I've been enjoying that much. So I think because I've seen Shawn Michaels down there, and I know Triple H, I don't know who they put in charge of creative because Vince is gone from everything. So what I think is going to happen future-wise, I think because their main goal should be is to stop having a chaotic backstage, as in ripping up scripts the day of, have consensus plans and just have backups if you need them.
Not like, even just in case of people, but the backstage politics of unsafe working environments or people getting mistreated or other superstars being treated differently. That shit ain't right. Like it's been going on in the wrestling business for decades and it's been going on way too long. Like everybody should be treated equally. It's because one guy is bigger than the other guy. It doesn't mean that if this guy does certain things, they should be treated like, say, for example, if Brock Lesnar didn't come back tonight, they was never going to talk about that like they did with Sasha Banks and Naomi. Like they would never address that. Saying like you got to keep.
But I think that was a Vince thing, and because like
that's what I'm saying now. None of this changed.
That was
you got to keep the same energy with everything. Now.
Can I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I? As far as this is probably not gonna go well, but I was in the Navy for a while, and I learned kind of in that kind of environment that two people, you almost can't treat them equally. I understand the whole concept of, like fucking keep the same energy, whatever. But do you really think that Naomi is going to get treated the same as Brock Lesnar or Sasha Banks?
I know Brock Lesnar makes more money, but she should though. There should be no difference. Like
I think Naomi, with Triple H, I think the way I feel. I mean, I know he's not like CEO, but from what I've heard, like. Even though Stephanie's gonna be CEO, I think Triple H is gonna start taking over creative now and be more day to day.
It's all just about respecting more than today.
And that's that's my point that I was gonna get to. I think with Vince, even though he was the boss, people didn't really have that respect with him, like mutual, because Vince, at the end of the day, I think he listened to a select few, but I don't think he cared about most.
He
And
was
we
also
saw that for years.
Being that
Triple H,
most,
I think, is
It's the
different.
old school mentality though. Like that's been going on for decades. I remember I saw an interview with Kurt Angle and I don't know why I thought about this, but he was talking about when he was doing the feud with Hulk Hogan and he beat Hulk Hogan at King of the Ring and made him tap out. But he said that when they did that thing, he told Kurt Angle that, hey, I'm gonna bring Hulk Hogan into the room and I want you to like intimidate him because he's gonna try to talk me out of this finish and everything. But it's like, it shouldn't have to be like that though. Like business should be business. So like, hey, businesses should be. There's some times in wrestling where I do think you have to look out for yourself. You have to be selfish. That's understandable. Certain times when you should win certain things, but you also have to learn how to give back and do certain things too. And it's that environment where it's like, I hate the term when people say that superstars bury certain people. I don't believe that. Vince McMahon buries certain people. He's the owner of the company. He used to. He owned everything in the company. Everything has to be the final say to him. So like, even if Hulk Hogan comes in and says, well, I'm not putting that guy over. Well, Vince is the boss. So he's either going to be like, you putting him over or I'm going to find somebody else to do it for you. Like that should be the mentality. Like that.
And we've seen instances where Vince has done that.
Instead of being like, okay, well, I'm just going to let you, like the Bret Hart, like Hulk Hogan allegedly didn't want to put over Bret Hart at WrestleMania, right? Or something like that. So like Bret Hart wins the title against Yokozuna, but then like literally Hulk Hogan comes out, or like Yokozuna took the title from Bret Hart, but then Hulk Hogan comes out and takes the title from Yokozuna. And like that made no sense though. Like why?
Exactly.
Like so stupid. Like
selfishness. Like
it's that mentality that they have allowed in the company. Like there's certain things that have been allowed. I get that Vince is the owner, but if you're the boss, you have the final say over everything. You're the boss. You feel me? Like
but there comes those times where like when even though you're at the top of like the hierarchy, whatever, sometimes you kind of gotta let them handle business, I guess you could say. I don't know. I've never been a CEO of a company, but I've been in charge of certain situations where I have a preference on something being done. One of the guys that work for me don't agree. The other one has a completely different mindset, and I kind of let them, hash it out in a sense.
Right. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I'm saying,
I get what you're saying, Mondo.
I'm saying more of like, there's a reason that WCW failed. Like they let superstars walk all over.
Yes.
They let superstars control the environment. It shouldn't be that way. Like superstars, I feel like superstars should only have certain says. Like, yeah, you can pitch your idea, and if you feel like you should do something, okay, talk about it. Like, I really just feel.
But you know what? You're right. But maybe Vince puts his foot down more than we give him credit for. Because remember,
he probably does.
Things that get out there is you remember. You got to know that the complaints are always going to make it farther than the compliments and the way or the attaboys, right? So I feel like maybe Vince McMahon probably 8 times out of 10 is like, fuck, dude, this is what I want. This is what's going to happen. Then the other 2 times is the only shit we hear about. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's only with certain people that he lets get away with certain shit though. Like I work at jobs
Roman.
and you can just tell like the way other people have been talked to, like people like the job that I work at right now, there have been people who said like, this guy has talked to me this way, but he ain't never said nothing to me like that. Like I've never been treated that way. So it's like people
yeah, I've been in the same situation.
There's different perceptions.
You think like, okay, you remember that video when Brock Lesnar came back and he threw the belt at Vince McMahon? Like if that
how many people are gonna do that?
It's
how many people can get away with that? How many people can go to the ring and cut unscripted promos and get away with it? I mean, like not everybody can get away with that. You know what I mean? Like when The Rock came back that one time and he went off the script and he went to like the crowd with the fans who were dressed up as wrestlers.
Vince was
like,
pissed.
Yeah.
If Lacey Evans did that, she gonna get treated like how The Rock would?
She's getting fired.
Bro, but it's in the sentence you just said. It's The Rock and Lacey Evans. Who the fuck is Lacey Evans in comparison to The Rock?
I get what you're saying, Mondo. Like there are certain people of certain stature where it's like, but it's also like you got to earn it because when Edge first came out, Edge wasn't given the freedom to do what he wanted, but then he earned that, and now Edge don't get his promo scripted. Like he even said, like there was a while, like just tell me what I'm talking about, and I'll write the script myself.
I agree.
I'm gonna go out there and do that. So I get you. I get what you're saying 100%. But I guess what I feel like the difference is between Vince and even though Stephanie's in charge, I think Triple H is going to be the main one with creative and the talent since he's EVP. So what I will say, what I think the difference is with Triple H, if there's a disagreement, Triple H is willing to talk it out with you and let's find the best solution. more often than not. I've heard stories mainly from Punk where it's like maybe that wasn't the case, but at least when he was in his NXT era, everybody who came through NXT, I have heard nothing but I loved working with Triple H. I loved working with Shawn. That was one of the best. Like, why do you think people want to go back? Like, that's why Finn Balor went back. That's why Apollo went back.
And
like,
that's
even
fair.
Cesaro
Cesaro
and stuff went back to NXT for a brief period just so that they can work with it because they know it's a great environment.
But and
Great
that's
You talk to the
environment.
AEW guys, they love working with Triple H, but the ones that work with Vince, well, I mean, not
think
all of them, but
that's where timeline
Most of
comes
them
in
wanted out.
because when Triple H and Shawn Michaels are fucking 77 years old, I highly doubt that the talent that comes up at that point are going to be like, I love working with them. They're going to feel like they are out of touch. I think that Vince McMahon was around so long and he has a certain way of doing things, and it's clearly he's a billionaire, so clearly what I'm doing is working type shit, that he is a little bit out of touch because he's not on his phone like Triple H is. Triple H is how old? 45? 46, whatever?
Like 50, yeah, early 50s, I think.
Okay, so
But,
let's say
I mean, what
45
up?
to 50. I
Yeah.
think that's a completely different understanding, a completely different personality, a
absolutely.
factor of like, Triple H is easier to talk to than Vince is, I imagine.
But
So
I
and
don't think Vince ever lost touch though. I think that's a mystical thing.
Ooh.
What the thing that people need to understand is that when the product was at its best at its time, it needed to be because WWE wasn't making money like they're making now. Like it was sink or swim. They're at a point now.
You think Vince is you think Vince is all there to where he's the most fucking understanding person?
He's not.
I think he's all there. I think he's all there, but
he understands that he
sure.
doesn't have to put on the best product now because he has the loyal fans are going to watch, and he's going to make more money than ever. It's not like it used to be. Like back in the Attitude Era, they had to switch up the product because if they didn't, then WCW was going to win. They had to switch things up and do what was best for the product. Right. Now Vince realizes I don't really have to do everything for the fans what's best for the product because the fans are going to continue to watch. They're going to buy all the merch. We're going to make more money than we ever make. Like people. We're all hooked. We're all hooked for WWE for life, no matter what. Like,
so if you're gonna go that route, where it's like, well, he doesn't have to, so that's probably why he's like with that route. I can get with you on that because it makes sense, and I mean, I think we've kind of seen it.
I mean,
I would argue even with that.
AEW came in 2019, so from 2001 to 2019, he had no competition. He was competing. That's why Raw and SmackDown split up because that was Raw has to compete with SmackDown now. Like there's no competition. Like TNA wasn't competition.
That's true. There was so much wrestling coming out of one company.
And you think about it too, like when people talk about they went PG and everything, people are like, oh, it's people. But people are still watching though, and people now are still watching no matter what. Like even though we may not watch faithfully all the time, like we may not watch an episode of Raw, SmackDown, but like. I'm not missing the pay-per-views. I watch every pay-per-view. I know, and I know what's going on with WWE. Like I record the episodes. I watch the segments that I want to watch, so I still know what's going on within the system. Right. It's hard to detach yourself. You feel me? Like if you're gonna really detach yourself from wrestling, then you have to really fall out with wrestling. And some people are that way, but Vince has realized he's achieved the goal. I've established my company as $1 billion corporation. And I have loyal fans, but there are fans like it's crazy, but there are fans who won't watch AEW because their team WWE, they feel like they're being disloyal to WWE. Like he has those fans, and those fans, those are the fans that are making him the most money because there are lots of them.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. I still think he lost touch, and the reason why I still think he lost touch is because there was too many times where he would just drop a storyline for no reason. There's too many times he would purposefully, like even if you want to make the argument like, look, I have my loyal fans, they're gonna watch regardless. Those are the ones I'm gonna cater to. He wasn't even catering to those. Like we've all seen the thing. Daniel Bryan was not supposed to be in that main event.
He was not.
He was not. He was supposed to wrestle Sheamus, I think, again.
CM Punk had a big part of that though.
And they gave
absolutely. But like, how long did it take CM Punk to finally get that influence? Like they gave him a long title reign, but like. How long did it take for him to get that? But I think after he got the mainstream media, they still took forever to finally put him as the number one. And then even then, he still didn't feel like the number one.
I think there are standards though. That's why I said it comes back to the respect level. Like if they had just kept it a buck with CM Punk, like, listen, man, we're never going to put you above John Cena. John Cena is going to be our number one guy. You could be the number two guy, but you'll be number two, man. That's what it's going to be for us. if they had been more straightforward like that, instead of telling him like you can grab the brass ring or you can achieve this and achieve that, then maybe he wouldn't have felt so disgusted, with a lot of things. Because like if I'm just like an honest dude, bro. So like if you see me a certain way, just let me know how I know how it is. You feel me? Like instead of just lying to me that way, you get it. Like, cause CM Punk, I felt like throughout his time there, I think he felt like he was lied to so much that he felt like if he just kept doing what they were doing, he would achieve the ultimate goal. But it's mythical. It's not real. Like no matter what he does, he's not going to be there because they're not going to place him there. So I think it all comes back down to the respect and the morals. Maybe why Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out too. Like, hey, we'll promise you that the tag team division will be nice. We'll do something with the tag team titles, but they're not doing anything with it. So it's like, you're just lying to us again. Like you're only telling us and feeding us information that we want to hear just so we can go out there and do our jobs and smile and look like we're supposed to be happy. But we're tired of the BS. So I think that environment needs to change with the WWE. Now, Vince may have lost touch as far as like when it comes to storylines and maybe pushing certain superstars that we felt like we wanted to see push. But in reality, did he really lose touch though? Because they still making more money than ever. If they was really losing touch like that, they would be struggling. Like some people really think WWE struggling a lot, but I'm like they're really not.
Didn't they make the most money this year? Out of all years,
I think it was last year.
Every year they make more money than they do the previous year.
Oh, for sure. But 21 was like their top during COVID. They
which was the weird one. That one was the weird one. I thought they was going to take a hit during COVID, and they actually just made more.
Yeah,
but I was like, that's crazy that they made more money.
Roman,
he wasn't even there for the start.
True.
That first quarter call when COVID hit.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't even there. And they still made money.
I'm looking at the WWE stock. They went up 62% today.
Just like
they're doing good.
Increasing, they keep increasing with the money. The product may not be as better for the fans at most, but honestly, if you really look at it, the product was never really always great. Even when we were growing up, like it was better, but like I've gone back and watched it. I'm like, that really wasn't that great. Like, why are they doing that? Like, there were certain things that would fly back then that it wouldn't now. Like the 24/7 title back in our era, we probably would thought that was the coolest thing ever. Oh, that shit was fun. Like they did it with the hardcore title, the 24/7 hardcore title. That was funny.
Yeah, but even the hardcore title was a little bit more hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's still a 24. Like they was fighting.
No, I agree. Yeah, their best WWE, their best year in their best time in their last fucking 5 years was September 2018, and they were at $96 a share. Now they're at 66. So. They've gone down. But either way, now 2019 was Daniel Bryan peak era, right?
That was 2013. That was like 2013, 2014.
That was
2019 was right. 2019 to 2020. That was right before COVID. So that was Becky during her run. NXT was still in its peak. I think that was like during the Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa little period.
Kofi Mania.
Because going into going into 2020.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because going into 2020, that was like Charlotte versus Rhea at Mania. That was Becky versus Shayna. That was supposed to. Oh, that was when Drew was getting his push.
Rollins and Owens
to beat Brock. Yeah, so that's what. And then I think Roman might have just came back from leukemia, or was doing something in that range. Like he was doing something. But I think that was the year he was supposed to fight Goldberg.
Yeah, also. I think he just came off a few with Baron Corbin, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, but like 2019, because people were coming back, and the storylines were actually like somewhat consistent. Becky was at the top of her game; she had became a megastar. Just continuing the run after she beat old girl.
What is your as of right now? What is your gut telling you? You think the product overall? I mean, they're going to continue to make money, but I'm talking about as far as storylines, as far as superstars getting pushed creatively. Do you think the product is going to get better overall? Or you guys think it's going to be kind of the same?
Only time will tell. Honestly, hopefully Stephanie, Nick.
I think more people are going to get chances, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the same set of people that are actually going to be pushed. Because, like, I think one thing about Stephanie and Triple H and whoever, and Nick, I don't know who the fuck Nick Khan is. I mean, I know who he is, but he's not really out there like Triple H and that. But I think Triple H and Stephanie are more for giving opportunity, but they're not going to keep, if you're not doing nothing, they're not going to just let you be at the tippy top forever without bringing home.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Vince had a thing where he would just not give people a chance. Nah, these are my guys. These are they gonna do their thing. I think Triple H and Stephanie, all right, I'll give you a chance, man. You got this amount of time. But at the end of the day, I think it's still gonna come down to the same. This, you know how right now we have a cycle of like fucking 10 people that are just always at the top, always doing something. It might be a different 10 people, maybe, but I think it's gonna come down to it. There's gonna be a cycle of people that you could just count on.
My gut is telling me that after SummerSlam or possibly during, because I'm banking on Bailey coming back.
Yeah.
Something, I don't think it's going to be a cash in, but something's happening at the end of that thing because Brock isn't staying. Roman is retaining. And I think that's going to set the tone. Well, that's what I'm banking. They could easily just go for a swerve factor, but Brock is already like, look,
I feel like we would know. Yeah. I feel like during the Brock and Roman match, we'll know if things are changing. Like if they are just like, if they go at it and like we start seeing blood and like they're not stopping matches, like that's when people I feel like, okay,
yeah,
like
they're gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, my gut feeling is telling me, I think right now they're just focused. Let's get to SummerSlam. Let's. I mean, it's the Madison Square Garden show, so that's going to be a big thing. Then it's going to be the SmackDown, the go home show. That's going to be a big deal. I think right now they're focused on let's get through this week. And then again, I don't know who the specific person that's had it created. It can very well still be Bruce, but I think that's when we're going to see and then the decisions in these matches I think are important.
Yeah.
Because for example, Seth Riddle, if you would have asked me before Vince came back or before Vince retired, I would have said Seth was winning that match. No questions asked. Now, I give it to Riddle so he can start getting his push. Before this, I would have said the Usos are retaining. Now, I don't know. They might want to have a big because usually with SummerSlam they want to have 3 big moments. So last year it was Becky returning and winning in 26 seconds, Brock returning at the end of the show, and then I think it just might have been the John Cena match. I can't remember what else happened necessarily. This year, I think it's going to be Bailey coming back. Street Profits get the big win, and then something happening at the end of the main event.
When it comes down to Roman and Brock, I don't see it being just a regular last man. I feel like something's going to happen, and I said that from the beginning because the Roman and Brock thing has been done in so much that they're going to do it again. But I feel like they're going to do something extremely different, and it's going to be something from the outside coming in. So,
I hope so. I mean, I see a lot of people in the comments saying The Fiend. That would be fantastic.
That would
be The Fiend.
But I just hope he don't go for the title. I just don't want. Come in, make a big splash.
I'm sticking with my theory that I put on TikTok, man. I don't care if it don't happen, but as far as right now, it's happening for me, man. Well, Bailey definitely coming back. I think Bailey does. For
sure.
I already had the Street Profits winning. I think they need this win. So I already had.
They gotta win. They gotta win.
And I pitched the idea on my TikTok. I said they should have Brock and Roman have a bloody match, whatever. Roman wins, he leaves the ring. Brock's in the ring by himself. He's standing up. Crowd kind of gives a standing ovation, whatever. The lights go out. Then the Fiend attacks Brock. He makes his big return. That separates Brock. He's gone from WWE for a while. And then whenever Brock comes back, you can set that up for WrestleMania right there. That's a big match right there. And then you continue to build up the Fiend's character for months and make him look credible. You know what I'm saying? That'd be something that would be a cool way to end off SummerSlam right there. If it ain't that, then it would be The Rock coming back. But that's a big.
That would be, man.
The Rock coming back. That would be amazing.
I told you actually on that podcast that we had last time. That's what I said. That's how I said it was gonna end.
The Rock coming up.
Oh yeah.
Another thing real quick that I want to.
You think Theory will cash in?
No. He's holding that till after Mania because I think he's cashing in on Cody. I think that's exactly what he's doing.
I agree with you.
He's cashing in on Cody. I think Cody's going to finally reach the mountaintop. Boom, Raw after Mania.
You don't think there's any chance he catches it at all? No chance.
No, I don't think it is.
Maybe
they've been overtly advertising it too much.
Yeah,
to where it's not going to happen. Because usually with other cash-ins, at least for the men, they just kind of wave it like he'll do it, but they literally it's supposed to be a surprise, and he announcing it. Yeah, no, he's not catching. Something will happen, some shenanigan, and he'll get laid out by the Usos.
Check me out. It's gonna be the match is gonna end, right? Roman's gonna be having both titles in the air, and there's gonna be silence, right? The lights are gonna go out, All of a sudden, there's going to be flickers of electricity. You know what I'm saying? And then all you're going to hear is, it's cooking. Doom, doo-doo-doo-doom. Hollywood Rock is going to come back and lay the smack down on Roman Reigns.
I mean, that would be great
That would
because
be
that's
great.
the match
That'd be
I want them to do at Mania. That's
But
the
it's
match
gonna-
I want them to do.
I just want it to be Hollywood Rock and not the regular Rock because that was my favorite version of the Rock.
Hollywood
Yeah,
Rock.
but Hollywood Rock against Tribal Chief.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're
yeah.
right. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
that one's a
Maybe
but
he
nah,
can-
Hollywood Rock is fire though. But
Well, that's what's gonna happen. That's what.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll really happen, but I mean, only time will. So I do think though, very possible that we do see superstars like I think Karrion Kross might come back to WWE now. honestly.
Finn Balor is
I
getting
think-
a push now.
I thought you was
Johnny
about to
Gargano's
say-
probably coming back.
I think Johnny
You were
Gargano
gonna
could
say
come back.
Kenny
Like I
Omega.
think
Yeah.
a lot of people could come back to WWE.
And I think Finn Balor, I think now that Vince is gone, Triple H is gonna make Finn Balor right. Triple H, I don't care. I think that's one of the things he's like, look, one of the few things I have on my list, we need to make sure Finn Balor is back to being a Hall of Famer. I mean, a main eventer.
Yeah.
Because
Damn
I
right.
would,
my
you know what I would
Damn
do?
right, man.
I would throw Finn Balor out of Judgment Day. I feel like he could be a top babyface you can need. And I would bring in Karrion Kross as the leader of Judgment Day. I would bring him in, put Scarlett in Judgment Day. You have Scarlett. I would put Scarlett, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, Tommaso Ciampa, and Karrion Kross all in the Judgment Day.
Do you
Man,
feel
you
like
That was
gotta
fire.
rewrite
I'm not
a
gonna
lot of
lie.
story for that.
Yeah,
to
that's
be
true.
honest,
A lot of build up, a lot of.
There's a lot of things you can do
direction.
because Tommaso Ciampa's not doing anything right now. He's just doing stuff with the Miz, but that probably will be over with at some
oh
point.
yeah, that'll be done after
Yeah, for
SummerSlam.
sure.
Now
Damian
that-
Priest
now that
already in
makes sense.
Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley's already in Judgment Day. All you gotta do is throw out Finn Balor because and instantly make him a babyface because they need some top babyfaces and he could be one of them.
Do you feel like
I
the
feel like you
Judgment
can
Day
keep him
needs
as
They need babyfaces though. They don't have a lot.
That's
They
what
need
Yeah.
I'm
somebody
back for.
all
seasoned to
heels.
kind of guide them. The Judgment
Ooh.
Day, I feel like they need someone seasoned to guide them. type
And
shit.
Karrion
Well, they
Kross
had
can
Edge. That's why I was like, why would
They
you
had
call him
Edge.
out?
That's the
They
yeah.
pulled
They
him
had
out
Edge.
because
He was
Cody got
right
hurt.
there.
They were like,
No.
we need a new babyface. I'm like,
Mhm.
bro,
No,
you had
they-
two sitting right there. You had Riddle, and they turned Seth babyface during the segment. I was like, bet, perfect. Seth is the new babyface. Perfect. That's a great way to replace. And then they turned him back heel the same night. I'm like, oh my goodness. Y'all literally had a gem right there.
Right.
Like that easily could have been a SummerSlam program for Roman. And a believable one. Because I don't think anybody believes Brock is winning.
Maybe
I
not
don't think-
now. Maybe
There's
not
no
now.
way he wins.
Now that Vince is gone, probably not.
I don't think he was gonna win regardless. Because I
Exactly.
don't think they're dropping. I don't think they're gonna have Roman lose until Mania. I don't think Vince would do that. Like his big guys, they don't lose until
Well, Vince
Mania.
ain't there no more though. So
Yeah,
It'll be his third
I
mania
mean, I don't think Triple H and them are gonna do it.
with
Either.
the championship. That's
But they're
crazy.
gonna. I think
think-
Roman's
I
gonna
think-
be on
I think-
TV
I
a lot
think-
more now, though.
I think Drew's beating him at Clash of the Castle.
I hope not, man. I think that type of because that run has been so dominant, you gotta save that for a Mania. Like you have to.
I don't know.
That's the way I feel.
Clash at the
Like-
Castle, bro. That's gonna be a big deal, man.
Yeah,
It's
Especially
that's
not
if
true.
as
Vince
big as
wins.
Mania though.
UK
Not as big as
pay-per-view
Mania.
overseas.
No,
Man,
I'm with you on that. And UK pay-per-views always go crazy. Like,
I'm saying Drew
Always.
McIntyre wins in the UK. That's gonna be as big as WrestleMania.
does he
He'll
win?
finally
does he
get
lose
his
the next
moment.
night? Does he
He'll
lose the
finally
next
get
night?
his moment.
No, I think Drew McIntyre you push him as the champion because Rock say like if the Rock does face Roman Reigns, it doesn't really need a title. Like that's gonna sell out
It doesn't.
regardless. I mean that's gonna be the main event no matter what. But like
Yeah,
for like WrestleMania night 1, you could build up like Cody versus Drew. Like just things you could do. The different things you could do with that with Drew as the champion.
I hear y'all as options, but I feel like all you need to do, honestly, and this is a perfect out, have the Usos lose and go back to doing the character work. He don't need to wrestle every month. He don't need. I don't even care that he's not defending it at every pay per view. I'm actually cool with that.
Yeah.
I just need to see him on TV more. I need to see character work more. That's really all I need, and I'm cool. I need to see you there. But he went like 5 weeks without even showing his face. Like no promos, no nothing. All you need to do is be on TV a little more, do some character work, show him berating the Usos, because that's when this story was at its best. Usos lose to the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Like that threat of Rome, like we haven't had the threat of like them losing and how Roman's gonna feel for a while. That's why nobody ever believes they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
But you have that threat over there. That like all they have to do was have Roman just, you better not lose. That makes this SummerSlam match so much feel. Why Jeff Jarrett's in it? is beyond me. But
'Cause he's from Nashville. That's why.
Yeah, the Nashville.
they
Tennessee.
could have put him as the host. Don't know why he needs to be the
Yeah.
special guest referee for this match.
Jeff
They should have made
Jarrett's
the
gonna
match.
be-
They should have made
Jericho.
they should have made the match a ladder match. It'd have been better if it was a ladder match. It would've
Yeah,
been-
if it was
That's
a
where I
ladder
thought
match,
they
that
was
would be
going
good.
with it. That's exactly where I thought they was going with it. I was like, how do you play off that match before? Bet. What do all great tag title feuds culminate in? A ladder match. That's all they needed.
Thank you.
Yeah, a ladder match would have perfected it more. But I mean, I guess the Jeff Jarrett situation makes it more intriguing because I'm like, okay, well, Jeff Jarrett is a kind of a heel, so like, is he going to screw the Street Profits? Like, I don't know, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, what's really going to happen there. So I get that factor of like, what really could happen with that, but I think the Street Profits do need this win though. If they ain't going to win this, then they're probably going to split up or something, which I don't think they should ever split up.
Yeah, they
right
shouldn't.
now. They can solidify them really as like a Hall of Fame tag team, especially if this era, like they're that good. So
Montez Ford can be a single star while they're in a tag team. I hope that starts when Triple H is in charge now. You can be a
That
single
would be
star and
good.
still be in the tag team. Kofi and Big E both won the titles while they were in their tag team.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
True.
agree.
Yep.
I agree.
man, Montez Ford could get that too. Don't sleep on Angelo Dawkins either though. He's nice, bro. Angelo Dawkins is a
Yeah,
Yeah,
little-
he's
Angelo.
gotten so much better since NXT though.
He's
I will
progressed.
say he's a lot better in the
For
ring.
sure.
Angelo Dawkins is nice, man. He can go too. So I mean, I like the idea of splitting them up, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Splitting them up, maybe if they're gonna do something perfect with the title reigns, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like they should stay together as a team. I feel like they need this win. If they didn't win the SummerSlam, then they just not gonna win the titles at all. So I think they need that win. And I mean, I do think the title reigns are coming to an end for the Bloodline. I think
Yeah.
definitely for the Street. I mean, SummerSlam, I would honestly be shocked if the Street Profits didn't win at this point. If they really didn't win, and for Roman, I think he should drop the WWE title. But I don't. It seems like they're not really gonna do that because they've
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna explain that.
They've already announced Clash at the Castle that it was going to be for both titles. So it's like, okay, well, I guess.
But
they're not
like
splitting
because
them up.
I guess the only thing I would say is because they said unified. Like if they would have just been like holding both, no, they unified them. They just haven't made one belt.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you work around. Like I know everybody wants to see it, but storyline wise, kayfabe, how do you work around only competing for just one title? And if I'm a competitor, why wouldn't I want both? Why wouldn't I compete for both?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Unless they try to do like a 2 out of even a 2 out of 3 falls doesn't work because you know what I mean. Like it just I don't know how storyline they're gonna make it. But if I believe anybody to make sense out of a storyline, it's Triple H because when they kept releasing all them NXT dudes while he was still down there, every time like somebody would get released, they had a storyline reason for it and it made sense. They're doing it now. So.
Somebody asked a good question in the chat. Do you think it's more likely that we maybe see a WWE and AEW collaboration?
Yes.
I actually think it's less likely now.
Ooh,
With
do
Tony
tell.
Khan
Why?
saying with that tweet with Tony Khan, man.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I
It
think
kind of
it's
burns
less
the
likely
bridge.
now.
Kind of burns
think
the
it's-
bridge.
Exactly,
It's a
because
very-
I think
he has a lot of
Stephanie,
Yeah.
I think Stephanie's gonna hold a great for that.
Yeah.
Like, really, the day my dad retires, you going to do some petty stuff like that?
I gotta disagree. I think business is business, and at the end of the day, it's all about money, and they know that AEW, WWE, that's the biggest thing that will ever happen in wrestling that you could possibly do. Like, and they could do it the right way, like how the invasion angle is supposed to be. Like, the invasion angle was cool, but there were so many key players missing from the invasion angle, like the NWO, Goldberg, Sting, that could have been really valuable to that. AEW versus WWE, I think it's more likely to happen now. I don't think Vince would have ever really gone for it. And Tony Khan, you can't tell me Tony Khan wouldn't jump on it. I mean, that would be
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Even though MJF said it like in a crazy way, it's very much true. He's a fan. He's a big fan.
Yeah.
That's why he did the NJ. That's why he did the New Japan.
I'm sure there would probably be superstars in the back too, like encouraging, like Chris Jericho probably like, let's do it, like that would be amazing. I mean, like that's a once in a lifetime opportunity that you could do to create something special. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it will happen. It may never happen, but I think it could be more likely to happen. Like more likely to talk. Like hey, let's talk.
I think it'll be.
Pro
I think it will
wrestling is
happen in the
unpredictable,
near
man.
future. I think like because I know like it was talking about like in the next 2-3 years they could try something. I think it's gonna be a while. I mean, granted, I don't think she's gonna hold on to that grudge that long, but like I just think that putting out that tweet, like
kind of
Like,
burns a
oh, I'm
bridge.
the longest tenured CEO in pro
you can't
wrestling
hold,
now. Like,
you can't hold grudges if you're in positions like that, man.
That's true though.
Vince McMahon has burned
He's
so many
got a
bridges that
point.
we never thought we'd see, bro. Like, you know how many times Bret Hart said shit about this man,
Oh
but he
yeah.
still brought him back. You feel me? Like, because he knew it was good for business. Like, you got to do
Mm-hmm.
what's good for the company. So, like, that's where the respect level comes in for Vince. Even though some superstars may feel a certain way, he was always down for burning bridges. Like this man Bret Hart even though he screwed Bret Hart, but like this man knocked him out in the locker room. Like after that happened, like he said all this type of shit about Vince. You feel me? So like, but hey, Bret, when you want to come back, I'm still here. You feel me? Like this is your home. Like the same
Same thing with Cody Rhodes.
The same with CM Punk.
Cody Rhodes was a little different, but I get your point.
The same with CM Punk. If CM Punk wanted to come back, you don't think Vince would ever brought him back? Like, all right, let's talk.
No, now Vince, now CM Punk, no.
Yeah,
Punk, no.
that's a whole completely different.
I'm saying if CM Punk wanted to come back to WWE, you don't think Vince would have ever brought him back? Like,
no, because I think Vince, like, I think there was a thing where Vince was like, CM Punk is one of the few guys I just can't do business with. Now Triple H might. Now Triple H might have, and Stephanie might have, but Vince as the head honcho, I would never believe that.
Yeah,
like I would put my house, my life savings on Vince never bringing him back. But like with Triple H,
with you.
If CM Punk ever decided to run out of his contract and just go back to WWE, just come back home, Triple H will do it easy.
But see,
I don't think it'll take
CM Punk's beef was a little bit more with Triple H than Vince, though. He had issues more with Triple H than he did with Vince. So I think Vince would have brought him back in a heartbeat.
But Triple H wouldn't.
Especially the money he knew CM Punk was going to bring in. Sure, come back. Come on, let's talk.
But Triple H, at least for me, like I feel like he's a little more like, even though he had beef with him, Triple H is more willing to work with you.
Yeah.
Triple H ain't sending you severance papers on your wedding day. You know what I mean? Like Triple H ain't that cool.
But that still don't mean Vince ain't willing to work with people, bro. He brought back the Ultimate Warrior, bro. The Ultimate Warrior for the Hall of Fame. And it was coincidental how it kind of happened because he had just passed, but like, bro, the Ultimate Warrior, they said they tarnished him, bro. Like they made a whole DVD about him and tarnished his legacy. They still brought him back though, because it was good for business. He would have brought CM Punk back, no question. It'd have been good for business. And
I think so too.
It's what the fans would have wanted.
I think if he was gonna bring CM Punk back, there was like, I don't remember the exact year, but there was like 2 moments where like, look, if you're gonna bring him back, now's the time to do it, or it's never gonna happen.
But maybe CM Punk didn't want to come back. That's the thing, though. Like CM Punk has to want to.
There's a lot of factors to it, man.
Didn't want to come back.
It's one thing for Vince to want to, but like CM Punk has to want to come back too. Like he can't just be like, all right, Punk.
You think CM Punk never wanted to come back to WWE in them 7 years? Maybe not the first like 2, 3, 4. You think in them last like 2 years before he joined AEW, he never want to come back?
No.
I think if AEW didn't exist, he would be in WWE.
You think so?
If AEW didn't exist,
I wholeheartedly believe so. Huh?
He wouldn't be wrestling if AEW didn't exist.
I think he would be getting his ass whooped in the UFC.
He's the type of dude that holds grudges, and you can see that because he still talks about things that reflect on in the past. He said that he feels like his time in WWE was a waste of time, but they made him a household name, bro. So you could tell right there, like he has that bitter taste in his mouth.
Yeah, multi-time world champion.
Which I can understand him having that bitterness because they lied to him so much that he felt like it's just like for him, he probably feels like he would go back into the same shit, and he didn't want to go back to that same environment. I don't think he would. I don't think he ever had any interest in going back.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah,
like, I think that he's that type of dude that just really like when you cross certain boundaries with him, there's really no going back with that. You feel me? Like it's like
I just felt like CM Punk was different. Like was like one of them rare cases. It was like I think CM Punk wanted to, but like I said, like I don't think Vince was ever open to the idea of doing business with him, and I think Triple H would at least be open to it. For me, I could be wrong. He could have just been like, well, I know maybe Vince was like, I'm open to it, but I know he's going to be a headache, and I just don't want to deal with that right now. That could be the case, but
yeah, I mean that's a good point too. I mean, it could go either way. I just kind of feel like if they wanted to make it happen, it would have happened. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't really that hard. Like all they had to do was to make amends, admit to their mistakes. We fucked up. We were wrong here. Okay, let's make a deal. Let's happen. Like same with Brock Lesnar. Like never thought Brock Lesnar was gonna come back when he left. Goldberg, never thought he'd see him again when he left. He had a lot of bitterness too when he left too. But like they always end up finding a way back, man. It's hard to stay away. You feel me? Like it's just pro wrestling just has that itch where it's just like it's hard to. And pro wrestling isn't like basketball or football. If you could stay in shape, you could do it for a long period of time. People do it throughout their 50s and 60s. Like if you could really stay in tip top shape, you could hang on for a long period of time. You know what I mean? So
AJ Styles, still one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's like 45.
45 years old, still doing
in
all
his
this
50s right
phenomenal
now.
stuff. No pun
Chris
intended.
Jericho's in his 50s. You know, he's still putting on solid matches. Like even though like Goldberg wasn't the best wrestler, but like even at his age, like he looks in great shape. Like Goldberg's like 55 years old.
Yeah.
I know his physique is amazing at what 55, 56 years old.
Yeah,
Crazy.
like,
I wish I had a body like that right now.
Like he looks incredible for his age. Like Brock Lesnar is 45. He's not like a 45-year-old man. Like this man, he looks like he's the same he was 20 years ago. You feel me? So it's like
Exactly. Hasn't aged one bit, in my opinion.
so if you could really keep your body in shape like that, you could really hang on for a long period of time. And obviously injuries, you know, injuries don't come into play too. But
My man Ric Flair is about to get it in right now.
I don't know about Ric Flair though. Ric Flair,
I don't know. He's been around
Ric
for
Flair
ages.
had a lot of health issues too, man.
Yeah,
Oh, that poor guy, bro.
I know.
I wish the best for him though, man. I hope that.
Right. I hope it goes good.
I hope it goes good for
It
him.
will.
I
It will.
don't wish the bad on that one, though.
He's working with like Double J and Jay Lethal.
And Andrade.
So give me three people now that the company is changing. Give me three people that you want to see get like pushed. Like it's time for them to get pushed. Like now or never for you. Like
That we want to see or that we think will get pushed.
you know, somebody you want to see, like the company, like Triple H, is not taking over. You're like, hey man, now it's time for you to do something with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Shinsuke Nakamura. Like please, I got hopes for him. I want to see something with Shinsuke Nakamura. I'll even say Gunther. I don't know if Vince was really going to do something with him, but now Triple H is in charge. I really think
Gunther is trash, bro. No,
he doesn't like Gunther. But Gunther, somebody
The name or the person or like the wrestler.
Throw the whole Gunther away.
Did you watch him in NXT?
I did.
Did you like him as Walter?
Just throw the whole Gunther Walter.
like Gunther. Oh, Shayna Baszler is my other one too. Shayna Baszler. That's a good one too.
One person I got, Mustafa Ali. I would like to see him get pushed a little bit. I know he
I
has some
forgot
time.
about him.
Yeah, but
I forgot about him.
That's
I want to see him
tough.
succeed, man.
So
Really underrated.
Mustafa Ali.
Wasn't he just on TV? Didn't
He
like they
was,
bring him
but-
back because it was like
He's
hey,
kind of
we
like doing
finally
like
got
this
some
little tag team
creative
thing.
plans.
I think he's doing this little tag team thing with Cedric right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that
On Main Event or
whatever.
something?
Yeah,
he was on. I went to Raw on July 4th, and he was on Main Event, and I was like, but it is what it is. If I had to pick four, though, you said 3 or 4?
Three.
3. So I would pick the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, and Roman Reigns. But if I had to pick 3 other people, I would probably go with Shush, please. Shush. I like my man. He's good.
I love
Jay
him, man.
He's a beast. Damian Priest, I want to see him go to the moon. And like you said, Finn Balor, I want him to get his spot back.
If I had to pick anybody for sure, it's Shinsuke Nakamura for me, bro. It's long overdue.
I'm not gonna lie.
Shinsuke Nakamura, man.
Shinsuke Nakamura is cool, but I wasn't watching NXT when he first came around, so I didn't know the hype. So I went back and watched it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, he cool." But like,
you couldn't really know the
I'm
hype.
cool off Shinsuke, to be honest.
You couldn't really know the hype unless you watched New Japan, because
Yeah.
Oh,
New
yeah.
Japan, that's where he flourished.
I'm
the
not gonna
most.
lie, I didn't watch. Like, I still don't watch New Japan, but at least I'm more aware of the stuff that goes
Shinsuke
on
and
over
New
there
Japan,
now.
bro.
But when it first happened, I was just like, "Oh, okay."
Hey, what did you think about
Shinsuke and New Japan and then coming over? Like that's the biggest sign the NXT ever made with Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
That was,
Do you think Kenny Omega will ever come to WWE?
Nope.
Yeah, I do.
Oh well, Vince is gone, so maybe. But before, I would have said absolutely no.
Yep.
I do.
Because they would have
Agreed.
watered down his character, and he literally said they won't let me do 5-star matches over there.
I want him to be Universal Champion.
I
He'd
think
be a great Universal Champion.
I think a lot of people from AEW are more likely to come over. Maybe MJF, Kenny Omega. A lot of people, I think, maybe jump ship. Not soon, but like in the future. I think it's more likely to happen now. I think it's more likely to go like that. Especially
People like
if WWE goes TV14 and you start to see maybe a little bit more edginess of the product. So I think it's more likely, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get back to him. I will get back to a little bit on why I think like more people will jump for that. But at least for my 3, For sure, it's Finn Balor. For sure, it's Finn Balor. Shayna Baszler. I still think she could have been the face of one of the divisions, SmackDown or Raw. I don't care. And then for my third one, I mean, I just really wish they would just tag team in general. Like the entire tag team division, make it better. Like the fact that the New Day are like scrubs now.
Yeah. Whoa.
Like I never thought I'd see the New Day as scrubs.
Hey. Scrubs?
No, I'm saying that's the way they're presenting them. I know they're not scrubs.
Yeah.
I know they're good, but the way they're presenting
I get
them
what you
right
mean.
now.
That right there
That
doesn't really bother me as much because they've done so much. I want to see other tag teams succeed, though, like the Viking Raiders, the Street Profits, like the Alpha Academy, like give other.
And I do too, but you can still like, and I don't like doing the WWE and AEW comparison, but like everybody knew the Young Bucks were the best tag team. Their first match, they lost to Private Party. They lost to Private Party. They put somebody over.
But they probably feel like
they still have always looked strong. The New Day can put the Viking Raiders over and put Alpha Academy over, but still be credible. You know what I mean? And right now, like I know with the New Day, they can easily just one day decide you're going to be credible threats now, and they can win the tag team titles, and nobody would bat an eye. They'd be like, "Yeah, makes sense." But like, just more. I just wish the whole tag team division. He said it out. I think Chad Gable for sure is a great one. I think he could easily be like a mid card title holder, easy.
You don't
But
think
the last one I will say is Ricochet.
Yeah,
he could have been better than what he is right now.
Yeah, Ricochet's cool. I like. I would love to see, like, if they bring back Johnny Gargano. I mean, you could throw DIY back together too. I mean, I think people would love that. Yeah,
on the main roster,
great matches. Like
they would take over. They would take over.
Like DIY could have great matches with the Usos and the Street Profits. Like there were so many great tag team matches you could have with them. You know what I mean? So like
that tag team division will instantly feel important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like you got there are gaps you could fill in there with the tag team division too, but I definitely the tag team division definitely could be better too, man. There's some talented tag teams in the divisions. You gotta know how to utilize them better and make them feel more important to the product. You know what I mean? That's really what it all comes down to. Who are your three? Do you already say your three, Anthony?
I said Mustafa Ali, but then I also got Chad Gable, like y'all said, and then somebody from NXT. If they ever get called up to the main roster, I say Carmelo Hayes. I feel like they should just push him up to the moon.
Yeah,
absolutely. And
I'm a big fan of him.
And keep him with Trick Williams. That would be fantastic.
Perfect combo. Perfect combo.
Carmelo Hayes. The potential for him kind of went up for me now. Now that Triple H is more in charge. Before, didn't really think they were going to do much with him, but now the potential is gone up for me, man. I think Carmelo Hayes might have a nice little solid main roster, little push, man. I don't think he'll be as big as Braun Breaker, but I think the push he could still feel important to the main roster. You know what I mean? So I think the potential could really be there for him to get pushed. And a lot of other NXT superstars too. Like you bring up the Creed brothers, and now like there's a good tag teams down there too. You could just
like Creed brothers are really underrated, man.
Good tag teams you could do, or maybe even put other tag like I was really digging the Mustafa Ali and Mansoor tag team. That kind of made sense to me. I was like, okay, they could do something with that, but then they really didn't do nothing with it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh man, that could have been a really good tag team right there. Like they could have been a nice little solid tag team. But hopefully things do kind of unfold and culminate together for the tag team division and for the better, just for the whole product in general too. Because there's so many things that could be fixed. They could fix. Don't expect everything to be great, but things should be getting better for the future though. Hopefully, so I mean we can only
or at least more consistent. That's all I'm asking for. Just more consistent.
Consistency and substance. Those are the two main things.
Yeah, because peak NXT wasn't great all the time. There was a lot of boring shows in that era, but it was consistent.
Yeah. Consistency plays a major key. All right. So, all right, guys, before we get off here, though, before we sign off, thank everybody for interacting in the chat, too. Everybody watching, interacting, giving your thoughts. I'm going to play a little game called Pick Between the Two. So, basically, I'm going to name two superstars, two wrestlers, and you just pick what wrestler you think is the better wrestler. Who ranks higher on the all-time list for you? Who's greater all time? You don't have to explain why. All you got to do is pick somebody, and then we'll move on to the next one, all right? So, we'll start with Anthony, then Armando, and then G-Baby. So, we'll just keep going in order, just like that to the end. So pick between the two. I'll name two wrestlers. You tell me which one you think is better, and then we'll move on to the next one. So the first one we're starting off with Chris Jericho or Triple H?
Ooh, me, I gotta go with Chris Jericho.
Ooh, nice answer. Okay.
Paul Levesque. I gotta go with my man Triple H is the better wrestler.
I gotta go Chris Jericho.
Jericho? What's going on there?
I gotta
What about
go
you,
Chris
Malik?
Jericho.
I probably say-
What?
Jericho's up there. Jericho. As far as ranking all-time higher, Jericho, I think, does more than Triple H for me. As far as everything.
Agreed.
John Cena or The Rock?
John Cena.
I would rather die than answer this question. Fuck.
Gotta pick one.
And death is not an option, huh?
No.
I'm gonna go with my chest hurts. I'm gonna go with The Rock.
I'm going Cena.
Oh,
Stone Cold or The Undertaker?
Jesus. Fucking Christ.
I'm about to contradict
man.
myself here.
I didn't say it would get easy.
All right. I'm gonna say Undertaker by that much.
I'm gonna say Stone Cold.
Yeah, I'm about to contradict myself with my logic for the last one, so I'm gonna go Stone Cold.
Ugh.
Shawn Michaels or AJ Styles?
That's not fair.
I'm gonna have to go with Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
Just because he's done more, I'm going Shawn Michaels. But
Yeah.
That's tough.
Very tough.
That was not easy.
The Usos or the Hardys?
I'm gonna say this might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna say Usos.
I'm gonna go Usos too.
I'm gonna
I
go
am
Usos.
too. I am too.
Oh, snap. What about the New Day or the Dudleys?
Whoa.
New Day. Too easy.
Dudleys.
Nah, I'm going New Day. That's easy for me.
Because you said we're not explaining, but can I just say one thing? New Day and the Dudleys were good in the ring, but New Day had way better promo mic entertainment than the Dudleys. Yeah, that's debatable.
True.
Man, I think though the Dudleys also done more outside of wrestling too, though. They won
That
everywhere.
is true.
They
They
won
have,
tag team
but
championships
I gotta
everywhere.
Go New Day. I gotta go New Day.
But the expedition of gold has already been done, so
All right, next one, Edge or Batista?
Oh, that's easy. Edge.
Edge.
Yeah, Edge.
Rey Mysterio or Jeff Hardy?
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle or Brock Lesnar?
I have to go with Brock.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, this one's tougher.
That's a
big
I'm gonna go
Love
Brock.
Kurt Angle, though.
I'm gonna go Brock.
Let's see. Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins?
what the fuck, dude?
We just had this conversation.
I know I'm wearing this shirt right now. I love Roman, but Seth Rollins is one of my favorites. I just feel like Rollins is just way better, my opinion.
I'm gonna go with my tribal chief because I gotta stay loyal and faithful.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, you gotta acknowledge that, man. Acknowledge the Trump.
I do.
Man. Give me Roman.
I love my Rollins.
John Moxley or Bryan Danielson?
Bryan Danielson.
Brian Danielson.
Yeah, it's Bryan Danielson.
Randy Orton or Eddie Guerrero?
The fuck?
Shoot. Man, I love both. You know, it sucks to say, but I gotta go with Randy Orton.
I think as far as impact, personally, Eddie Guerrero for sure.
I'm for sure going Randy Orton.
What the fuck?
I'm for sure
love
going
Eddie,
Randy
though.
Orton.
What about you? Hold on. What about you, Malik?
I might have to go with Randy too, man.
Yeah, it's
I
given.
think
It's a
Randy.
given.
Well, unfortunately, Eddie Guerrero passing away, but I think Randy Orton, he's done more in wrestling.
Yeah.
He's done so much more.
And I
Impact
think-
wise, though, Eddie Guerrero probably got an impact, but accomplishment wise, Randy Orton done everything, man.
I think Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton is arguably a top 3 heel all time.
Sure.
And
Sure.
he's not 3.
What?
Probably. And I don't think he's 3. And I don't think he's 3.
Randy Orton definitely top 3 heels all the time for me. He's on the Mount Rushmore for me of heels.
Yeah, he's on my Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah. But Eddie Guerrero was also a phenomenal heel.
Eddie Guerrero was a phenomenal heel during that 05
He
run.
wasn't 09, 2000. He wasn't 2009 Randy Orton. I'm sorry.
He wasn't
Yeah, but
bald-headed
Randy
Randy
Orton
Orton
was
putting
in
Vince
2004, Eddie
McMahon,
Guerrero.
Stephanie.
Eddie Guerrero better babyface, Randy Orton better heel.
Perfectly said.
What's up?
But I do feel like Eddie Guerrero's impact definitely was bigger, though. I mean, even through WCW up until before he had passed.
Yeah, I can give you that, but like
he done a lot.
Randy Orton when you talk about people who just made you like genuinely hate them, even though you know it was a scripted show, that was Randy Orton in 2009, bro.
Yeah, I was the opposite. I never hated him. He was always cool to me. He was a heel that I just like. He was doing cool shit. And I'm like, I like this guy, man. He's just a cool heel. I don't know why, but I never like the 09 Randy Orton, like 09 Randy Orton, like that was like, I mean, I already had like Randy Orton, Legend Killer Randy Orton was cool, but like that Viper Randy Orton, man, when he was kicking
people in the head, bro.
This dude is different, bro. Like
he handcuffed Triple H to the ropes and kissed Stephanie McMahon. That is like all time like heel. Like
made me sick watching it.
Yeah. So
I mean, it was like in that moment, I do think like in that moment, looking back at it now, when you're watching it, it was just a good product. But like when you go back and watch it, it's like, bro, he was really a savage. Like he was doing some really savage like heel stuff, like stuff that you probably just don't see nowadays. But like that heel work to me was like, I put it on a different level for me.
It was top tier for sure.
And it put it level, bro. Like when he handcuffed Triple H and then he DDT Stephanie and kissed her, like I'm like, oh man, like oof, like this.
That's sexual assault.
That's cold blooded. That's cold blooded there, because like, man.
It's good heel work.
Let's do another one. Let's do a theme song edition though. We're gonna do theme song. Pick between the two. So this one will make it. I guess we can make it a little shorter. Let me make it a little shorter for you guys. It's based. So this is this theme songs. Basically, this theme song that you like, that you prefer. Just know your preference of music. Which one you think is better? Jeff Hardy, No More Words, or Triple H, The Game?
No More Words.
The Game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go The Game.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins' current theme or Roman Reigns' current theme?
Roman Reigns.
Rollins.
Yeah, I gotta go Rollins.
The Usos theme, or the Street Profits theme?
Whoa.
Usos.
Yeah, I gotta go Usos as well.
Brock Lesnar's theme or AJ Styles' theme?
Whew. Brock Lesnar's team slaps. Shit.
I'm gonna have to go Lesnar. That guitar riff in the beginning is so iconic.
Yeah, I'm going Brock Lesnar.
I'm gonna actually go AJ Styles though. I've actually stopped to listen to the song, like put it on YouTube and listen to the words type shit.
Let's see. Shawn Michaels' theme song or Rey Mysterio's theme song? Current theme.
Shawn Michaels.
HBK.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like either of them, but I'm going HBK.
Stone Cold's theme or The Undertaker's theme?
Yes, baby.
Stone Cold.
That is so tough.
Iconic themes.
That is so tough. You got the gong and you got the glass shattering, bro.
Nah, Stone Cold. Especially when Disturbed did the cover, when Disturbed put the words onto it.
It's the regular Stone Cold theme, the regular one.
The first one when he first blew up.
Oh, I'm gonna go Stone Cold, man, but that is so tough.
It is.
Batista, Walk Alone, or Edge Metalingus?
Metalingus.
You think you know me, right?
I think you know me.
Yeah. That's like,
I see clearly.
That's like the best theme song ever. I'm going Edge.
I walk alone.
Yeah, I'm cool off that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Batista.
Let's see. Shane McMahon's theme song or The Fiend's theme song?
Oh, Shane McMahon.
The Fiend.
The Fiend.
Let's see, Bret Hart's theme song or The Rock's theme song?
The Rock.
The
The
Rock.
Rock.
Like, y'all
I
sleeping
hate
on
Brett.
don't sleep on
I'm-
Bret Hart's theme song now.
I'm not gonna lie. I hate Brett's theme song,
Nah, Brett's theme song is cool.
and
but
I hate
like
Natalia's
Brett.
too. I hate Natalia.
I hate Brett.
Bobby Lashley's theme song or Goldberg's theme song?
Bobby Lashley's current one or the Hurt Business one?
The current one.
Bobby Lashley.
Goldberg is like his song is kind of iconic. The whole entrance and the song thing, I would dare call it an iconic entrance.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna just go Goldberg by default.
I love
Goldberg?
Lashley's theme, man.
Actually, Lashley's shit is good, but
That's good. It's great, honestly.
Let's see, Eddie Guerrero's theme song or RVD's theme song?
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie, yeah.
I don't even know why I didn't think about that.
Finn Balor's theme song or Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song?
Easy. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke.
Not gonna lie, I'm going Finn Balor's theme song.
Shut up.
Oh, come on, man.
The whole I don't care if it's the whole little thing. I'm going Finn Balor's.
Yeah, I'm with this shit, but I'm also
Yeah.
with the wow.
Like I said, when Shinsuke first got here, I wasn't really hyped on him. Like,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
That's
this
true.
is cool. So
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I understand that. John Cena's theme song or Chris Jericho's WWE theme song?
John Cena. My time is now.
I'm still hot. Knock your shell off. John Cena. That's a bar.
Mhm.
I'm gonna break the walls down though.
I think I might be different here, and I think I'm gonna go break the walls down because you just hear that. And just,
Break
Yeah.
the walls down.
A
All right,
countdown?
Last one: CM Punk, Cult of Personality, or Randy Orton voices?
Ooh. Voices.
Cult the person.
personality.
Yep,
Cult
Cult.
of personality.
Too iconic of a thing.
And see, honestly, the reason why I like it so much is because when I was a kid, I played Rock Band, and or a Guitar Hero. And that song was on there, so that literally when he came back and I heard that song played, I was like, they actually know this song. And then he came out, and I was a big Punk fan at the time, so it was like, oh, yeah.
I'm just going. That one's easy for me. Voices is the greatest theme song ever for me, bro. That's number one. Nothing above that ever. That will never be top for me, bro. Like that's
It's better than Edge's theme song.
yes. Man, voices is number one for me, bro. That's
I
number
don't know about that.
I'm
number
putting You Think You Know Me above that real quick.
Yeah,
real
definitely.
quick.
I'm putting voices over anything quickly, bro. Not even close for me.
Even
Voices.
Stone Cold's?
Yeah, Voice is the greatest theme ever, bro. The greatest theme song ever in history, bro. Nothing is above that for me, bro. If I could have any theme song, that would be my theme right there. Like by far none. Like I'm coming out to that, and I'm like I could feel it when I could feel
I'm
it.
not gonna lie, I get goosebumps when I hear Edge's theme song, and that was before he came back.
Yep.
Like yo, I'm talking like when I made a wrestler in WWE, Edge's theme song was
Edge's
my
theme
theme
slap.
song.
The motion, everything. I has had replica
Yeah,
of
like
Edge's
the
theme
whole
for
thing, the
entrance.
pyro, the
Edge's
Oh,
theme song is
yeah.
that's definitely my top five. That's my number three. That's my number three right there. That's in my top five.
What's number 2?
The Game, Triple H, man. That one. Cult of Personality would be probably my number 5, and then Walk Alone's my number 4. That Batista, that Walk Alone, bro. That especially with that pyro, bro. I used to get me so hype as a kid, bro. Like that shit was so good, bro. And Batista
I'm a
was-
big fan of Kane's theme song.
Slow Chemical?
Slow Chemical, yeah, legendary. That's classic. That's classic.
Hell yeah.
That's legendary
Yes,
right there. That Slow Chemical theme bangs, but man, that was good doing the podcast, man. Thank you guys for coming on and joining. Thank everybody for watching. Appreciate you guys for taking the time out of your day to come on, man.
You gotta fix your
Of course,
podcast.
anytime.
Jeopardy coming for you guys Sunday, Boys versus Girls edition. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Also have SummerSlam predictions coming next week as
Hey,
well.
come here.
So thank you guys for coming in and watching. Until next time. We will,
All right.
see you
Sorry
guys
about
again.
that. I got distracted with the little one. Talking about when we're going to the beach.
Until next time.